I'd like to call. Did you hear me? I'd like to call the May 17th Board of Public Works and Safety meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Mr. Wright? Mr. Margraf?
Here.
Mr. Long?
Here.
Are there any conflict of interest statements?
No.
No. Approval of the minutes of May 3rd. Have you had a chance to look at them, Mr. Long?
I have. And I recommend we approve them.
And I'll concur with that. Correspondence A, request for advertising dates of May 24th, 2018 and May 31st, 2018 with a bid opening date of June 14th, 2018 for the Hermits Park Road extension. Do I have a recommendation approving the advertising dates?
I do recommend that.
And I concur. Item B, correspondence received from Councilman Dave Warple requesting $5,000 of gaming funds be allocated for engineering services in the city. This has been signed by the councilman as well as the mayor. Do I have a recommendation approving his request?
I recommend that.
And I concur. Item C, correspondence received from Councilman Scott Rakos requesting $5,000 of gaming funds be allocated for engineering services in the city. This has been signed by the councilman as well as the mayor. Do I have a recommendation approving?
I recommend that.
And I concur. Item D, supplemental agreement number 1 in the amount of $10,000 with Nice Engineering, Inc. for additional funding to continue work on engineering services as needed. This has been vetted by the engineering department. Do I have a recommendation approving the supplemental agreement?
Yes, I recommend that we accept it.
And I concur. Item E, change order number 1 received from First Group Engineering, Inc. for the resurfacing of 173rd Street from Indianapolis Boulevard to the Indiana Harbor Belt Railroad with a decrease in cost of $4,053.41. Do I have a recommendation approving the change order?
I recommend we accept the change order.
And I'll concur. Item F, correspondence received from AT&T requesting permission to perform work at 4445 Torrance Avenue. This has been okayed and vetted by the engineering department.
I recommend that we accept that request.
And I concur. Item G, correspondence received from 3rd District Councilman Anthony Higgs requesting $5,850 of gaming funds be allocated for construction material testing on 164th Place and Alexander Avenue. This has been signed by the councilman as well as Mayor McDermott.
I recommend that we approve Anthony Higgs' request, Councilman Higgs.
And I'll concur. Item H, proposal for geotechnical exploration services with ATC Group Services LLC in the Alexander Avenue and 164th Place reconstruction project at a cost of $5,850. Do I have a recommendation approving the proposal?
I recommend that we approve the proposal.
And I concur. Item I, correspondence received from Councilman Scott Rakos requesting $3,950 of gaming funds be allocated for construction material testing on Kenwood Avenue between Kennedy Avenue East to the nearest alley. This has been signed by the councilman as well as the mayor.
I recommend that we approve Councilman Rakos' request.
And I'll concur. Item J, proposal for geotechnical exploration services with ATC Group Services LLC in the Kenwood Street reconstruction project at a cost of $3,950. Do I have a recommendation approving this proposal?
I do recommend that.
And I'll concur. Item K, correspondence received from Councilman Dave Warple requesting $30,000 of gaming funds be allocated for the 2018 sidewalk repair program. His request has been signed by the councilman and as well as the mayor.
I recommend that we okay Councilman Warple's request.
And I'll concur. Item L, an amendment to a funding request from Councilman Scott Rakos correcting the amount allocated for a contract with SEH Indiana to $45,600. Oh. Okay. The request that we had approved at a previous meeting had a different amount on it, and this is stating the corrected amount as $45,600. Do I have a recommendation approving this request?
I make that recommendation.
And I'll concur. Item M, service agreement with Comcast for internet service to be installed at the police gun range.
This is for this isn't, so that they can play video games. This is so that they can install the security cameras. It needs to be Wi-Fi. It needs to be connected through the internet to have the security cameras for this location.
And this is a request from Chris Campbell, the Director of IT.
Correct. And it's for the purpose of installing security cameras at the range.
And I make a recommendation we approve that request.
And I concur. Item N, correspondence received from Chief of Police John Doty requesting Officer Gregory Day be promoted to the rank of second-class patrolman effective May 16, 2018. Officer Kevin Holland be promoted to the rank of sergeant with pay adjustment effective May 15, 2018. The relinquishment of CBO specialty pay effective May 1st, 2018 to Officer John Peck, and disposal authorizations.
And I recommend that we approve Chief Doty's request.
And I'll concur. Item O, Departmental Rules and Regulations, Section 13, page 75, social media policy to all sworn and civilian members of the Hammond Fire Department. Do I have a recommendation approving the fire chief's request?
I do recommend that we approve Chief Smith's request.
And I concur. Item P, emergency demolition hearing on property located at 1810 Brown Avenue.
The file is up there in front of you. I placed it up there. Mrs. Orms is here. I had an opportunity to speak with her. As you know, we do have a lot of, this was a rental property, and as you know, we do have a lot of rental properties that burn, and then we never hear from the landlord again. The condition are shown in the photographs. It's burned pretty severely. However, Mrs. Orms does have an appointment to meet with her insurance adjuster. Have you seen, Ms. Orms? Have you seen the photographs? Have you been up and seen the property? And you agree that it's pretty bad? Oh, yeah. And it's probably going to have to come down? Yeah. I would just ask the board to please, we're going to enter the order, an emergency order based on the condition of the property. However, we're not going to take any immediate action to demolish it until the insurance company completes their investigation, because they may be willing to demolish it themselves and we won't have to put the expense out.
I am going to meet up with Eric from State Farm as well as a man from Surf Pro that does demolishing. He's supposed to meet me after we leave here. They're supposed to both meet me up there.
And you understand what Ms. Cantor is
We're just going to
talking about.
enter an order in case they should say, hey, you're on your own, and they walk away.
Right,
As
okay.
Sometimes they do.
Yeah.
And so we would enter an order, but we're not going to take any action on it. If you want, we could even set it over for next Thursday just for status. But I would like to enter the order to demolish based on the burned condition of the property and the danger it poses to the neighbors on either side, which are probably 3 feet away from it. Yeah.
We should have some direction by next Thursday, right?
Correct, hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah, just keep in touch with us. You know Nick, or you have.
Yeah, I know.
Just stay in contact with Nick. Kelly's going to start getting bids, because sometimes our bids are cheaper than private bids.
Okay.
You could always use one.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to prepare an order after this hearing based on the fact that I've spoken with the owner.
Here's a question. When it-
So, do I have a recommendation to enter the order as such with the status of May 24th?
I do, I make that recommendation.
And I'll concur. Item Q, correspondence received requesting a rental registration hearing. June 28th, good?
It's good with me, yeah.
I'll entertain a recommendation,
I'll make a recommendation that we set that over for June 28th.
and I'll concur. Item R, correspondence received from Mr. Gary Gleason, Director of Public Works, advising the Hammond YMCA's requesting street closure Saturday, May 19th, 2018, from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Southeastern Avenue from 173rd Street South to Northcott Avenue for a Touch a Truck event.
I make a recommendation to approve Mr. Gleason's request.
And I'll concur. And that's just from 10 to 1, right, Gary?
It's actually not me.
Oh.
It's the YMCA Lynette
Right.
is asking permission to do this. She kind of, it's her first time doing it, it's not even us involved, but
Okay.
I kind of walked the barricade closure and everything through for her. So that's all they're doing is from that time, and they kind of want to close it, because people will keep walking across it. So.
I understand. Did we do action on that? Okay. Item S, correspondence received from Purdue University Northwest requesting painting, yellow cross, hatch, crosswalk markings on 173rd Street near the main south entrance across from the fitness and recreational facility, repair of a street light, and the installation of a crosswalk in the 6900 block of Snyder Avenue south of the Purdue Northwest building. This request is coming from Brian Miller, Director of Public Safety. You want this to be directed towards the engineering department, Dean? or-
Yeah, if you don't mind, we'd like to take a look at it, but we really have no objection. We do have a project forthcoming on 173rd next year through NDOT to rebuild that intersection where they're requesting the first crosswalk. We have talked to Purdue on the crosswalk on Schneider. That makes sense, but we need some signs put up as well for that new crosswalk just south of 169th.
Okay.
So, yeah.
We need to set this over, so he has time to look. Do we need to set this for status?
Send it to me and I'll give you a response,
Okay.
please.
All right. So the recommendation is that we will accept Mr. Miller's correspondence and refer to the engineering department for review,
And I make that recommendation.
and I'll concur. Item T, correspondence received from the resident of 2454 Birch Avenue requesting a deaf child on the block sign. I believe, Gary, is this something? Okay. Okay.
Recommend we forward it to you, forward it to Mr. Gleason?
But yes, we'll put those up.
All right.
Okay. I make that recommendation.
And I'll concur. We will submit this to Mr. Gleason in Public Works. Item U. This is something new to us here, I think. Correspondence received from Click Fix requesting the alleyway of Lincoln Avenue be made one way. Chris, would you? This is the first Click Fix thing we've seen come before me. I'm not sure how to.
I'd suggest that you just refer to Public Works and Engineering, and we'll work it out and get a response to
Okay.
the board.
Okay. I make a recommendation, we forward it to both parties for the recommendation.
And I'll concur, Public Works and Engineering.
Engineering.
Item V, correspondence received from Click Fix requesting a stop sign on Harrison Avenue at Locust Street.
We'd ask that you refer that to engineering. We'll do a stop warrant analysis at that location and make a recommendation to the board.
I'll make a recommendation, we forward it to engineering for their recommendation.
And I'll concur. Item W, correspondence received from Mr. Robert Dixon requesting permission to hold the Bering Parkway Annual 4th of July Parade, Wednesday, July 4th, 2018, beginning at 11 a.m. with street closure and police and fire department participation. This has been going on for many, many, many years, over 40 years, according to Mr. Dixon. So we'll refer this to,
Police and fire?
They don't block it off.
they don't need anything from you? Oh, yeah, street, okay.
Okay, I'm going to make a recommendation, we forward it to Chief Smith and Chief Doty for their approval.
Then I'll concur. Item X, correspondence received from Mrs. Ethel Hall requesting a 1,000 block of Field Street be closed on June 9th, 2018, to host the 6th Annual Field Street Festival from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Yeah, they're requesting some tables and garbage cans. We need, yeah.
I make a recommendation to forward that to Gary Gleason for his approval and recommendation.
And I'll concur. Item Y, correspondence received from Hammond Mohawks requesting permission to hold a Memorial Day parade beginning at 11 a.m. with route. This has been okayed already. Can't tell. But it's, well, I don't see Don here. Public Works,
Works again?
maybe EMA.
Okay. I make a recommendation that we forward that request to Public Works and also EMA, Emergency Management, for their approval.
And I'll concur. Item Z, correspondence received from Ms. Amy Radilak, President HC3, requesting 25 no parking signs be posted on Kennedy Avenue from 169th Street to Vine Street for street closure beginning at noon, June 1st, 2018 through June 2nd, 2018, and 20 barricades to block off the side streets and parking lots during the Live in the Ville Street Festival.
They've done this before.
I had her get hold of the board because I told her we don't install the no parking signs if they want to run it off on their computer. She's just asking permission if she can block that off and put those no parking police order signs. But she'll install the sign if it's okay with the police and board. And we'll do the barricades.
So just forward it to you and the police department?
Yes.
Okay. I make a recommendation, we forward this to Gary Gleason and the police department for their approvals.
Then I'll concur. Item AA, correspondence received from Ms. Elvira Martinez, Paws and People, advising the event, or the approved event set for August 25th, 2018 at Interstate Plaza Drive has been canceled. No action needed, is there?
No.
Nothing on that. Notification purposes only. Item B, correspondence received from Mr. Danny Hyatt requesting permission to use the grass median between Janet Place and Gibson Place for placement of jump houses on May 27th, 2018.
I'm not familiar with this location. I was hoping maybe somebody from Robertsdale would be. Is that city property?
This is Hessville.
I'm sorry, Hessville, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's an alley parkway, it's pretty wide.
Is it city property, though? Okay. I mean, the only concern we'd have if somebody gets hurt, they're getting hurt on city property. Usually, we ask people to put the bounce houses on private property, and they could still close the alley and do their chairs and tables there. But the only concern we would have is just if somebody were to fall out of the bounce house and hurt themselves, now they're on city property. So I don't know if, did they give a map or anything?
Just got a map of,
Okay.
a Google map of kind of where the spot is, but
We normally prefer that the bounce houses are set up on private property, but I don't know if this is, it is for next weekend, so I don't know if it's something that we maybe want to have somebody run out there and take a look at it, or have them come in and explain at the next meeting.
I think that would be a good idea if we could put a call into them and ask them to come here.
So what is that, the 24th? Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm going to make a recommendation to set this over for May 24th until we can get some more information.
And I'll concur. Item double C, correspondence received from Ms. Alta K. Leviso requesting Holman Avenue between Fayette Street and Sibley Street be closed and the use of the parking lot behind the Indiana Bell Building on Fayette Street, in addition to the previously approved request for their event scheduled for May 19, 2018.
There was an earlier request. They're doing an event this weekend. Part of the request was to put up a sign in front of City Hall. I have not gotten confirmation from the mayor's office that that's acceptable. We normally only advertise city events in front of City Hall on our billboards. We don't do private events, so that might have to be a no for now. They had an original request, which I believe was approved, but now they're asking for additional. There is actually a map with this one. They're asking for additional closures and additional parking spots. I do want to just make it clear that under no circumstances are they able to charge anyone to park on this city property.
I think she's here.
Okay. I just want to make sure, because there was some discussion back and forth, and there's no way that anybody's charging for parking on public roads.
Well, then, in regards to the parking, which is really why I'm here today, the monies received for the parking were going to the St. Jude's Children's Hospital. It's our goal to raise $100,000 for that charity fund. And so today we were requesting permission to charge for those two lots, and 100% of that money would not go to us, but it would absolutely go to the funds for the St. Jude's Children's Hospital.
They could put out a collection bucket. Anybody who wants to can throw, some money in a collection bucket. But
That was going to be my next suggestion.
we
is
don't charge to park on city property.
Okay, that works fine. So we'll just have someone there asking for donations as people park, if that's fine, instead of having a set.
Is that okay, Chris?
Instead of having
Yeah,
a set
they're
parking.
just soliciting donations. They could just be a box.
And this is all city property we're talking about,
Yeah.
that they're going to be
As far as
utilizing?
I know, everything on the map that's a road is Fayette Street.
So we're making a recommendation today to approve everything except the advertisement by City Hall, correct?
Correct, only because I haven't had confirmation from the mayor's office. If she can get confirmation.
I actually did reach out on my own, and they told me basically what you said. So we actually have placed that banner elsewhere.
Okay, so there's not a concern with that?
Right, there's no concern with the banner. What they did was we brought posters and flyers, and then city took care of that, and then mayor also, they advertised for it on WJOB, so that was sufficient.
Okay, then I will make a recommendation to approve her request.
And I'll concur, knowing that
Everything we talked about today.
Yes, and then I also met with Gary this morning also, and he checked out everything as far as the street closures for us also.
all right,
Okay,
thank you
thank
very
you.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good day.
Item DD, correspondence received from Mr. Ivan Vargas, Tournament Director for the Hammond Mayor's Cup Annual 3-on-3 Soccer Tournament, requesting permission to display two sign advertising the tournament. Yeah.
Where is he putting them?
I'm way behind here. There we go. We just have a picture of what they want to use as the sign, but he does not.
I would just ask to refer to streets so we can get some more information. I just want to make sure where the advertising it is. We have to consider.
Oh, we've got time.
Okay, no, I mean, we just can't have it so people can't see when they're going around a corner.
Okay,
Can we send this over then?
yes.
For,
Well, it could be, I mean, the event is July 14th and 15th.
man, do you have a day you can,
Does it matter? Doesn't matter.
want to go May, just next weekend? Or a couple weeks out?
I go a couple weeks out.
Okay, so May 31st.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to make a recommendation to set that over to the next hearing, May 31st hearing, sorry.
And are we going to send this to Mr. Gleason?
Mr. Gleason, yes, for his recommendation.
And I'll concur. May 31st.
Yeah.
Item EE, proposed license agreement with Dual Village, Inc. and its representative Enviro Forensics for environmental testing at 837 Hoffman Street. This,
This is our standard environmental monitoring, just for groundwater contamination. It's the same thing we do all the time.
Okay. Then I'm going to make a recommendation to accept that proposal.
and I concur. Item FF, garage sale permits. They're starting to get thick, man. Okay.
I make a recommendation to accept those permits.
And I'll concur. Item GG, general order, Exxon Mobil video recording equipment.
We've previously passed a general order for the body cameras, but these are for the ones in the vehicles, and so we need a separate general order.
I make a recommendation to accept Chief Doty's request.
And I'll concur. Item HH, general order, Hammond Police Unmanned Aircraft Systems, UAS policy, drone policy.
Correct. I mean, that sounds a lot more exciting than it is, but it's just the policy for the drones.
I make a recommendation to accept Chief Doty's request.
And I'll concur. Who flies these?
We have guys, policemen.
Okay.
They're going to school.
I got you, okay.
I wish I could.
Are there any matters from other board members?
No.
Matters from other department heads and/or their representatives?
I just have one quick one. On 415 Sibley, I'm only asking the board today for authority to bid. The bid dates and the bid specs will come later, but that's for 415 Sibley. And I didn't have time to have the specs ready for today, but I just want to go forward with the authority to bid.
And I make a recommendation that we go forward with the bid for 415 Sibley.
And I'll concur with that. Mr. Gleason?
She left before we could ask. I did ask her if they were gonna have a beer garden. They are. They're actually having a bar from Gary, literally bring all their people. I informed them they gotta have it fenced off and everything. But I also informed her that she needs a Hammond police officer. And she said, we'll have security. And I said, I don't think that's gonna work. So I sent her to the police station to talk to the chief to see how they wanna work it out. So she is supposed to have a police officer there, so.
Okay.
She left before I can ask her, and there's a little bit of a street change. It is still home in Fayette and Sibley, but we're gonna go a little bit down on Fayette West, and we're gonna go just past the bike trail. So that will also be closed. I'll get it up to Lynn to get to you guys.
So do you have the means to get a hold of her? Can you find out about the police officer thing?
Yes.
Okay.
I can text you within the next 15 minutes. I looked down, and when I looked, I thought she was sick. She walked out. I wanted to ask her. But she was literally leaving the lot going right to the police station.
Any other matters from department heads or their representatives? New business? Old business? A meeting open to the public. Anyone like to come up to the mic and speak? I'll entertain a recommendation to adjourn,
I make that recommendation.
and I'll concur. Thank you.
Second.
Hold on one
He's
second.
got to get things going, and then we're going to have roll call again, so.
I would like to reconvene the May 17th Board of Works, Public Works and Safety meeting. Roll call, please.
Mr. Ray, Mr. Margaret,
Here.
Mr. Long.
Here.
Meeting open to the public. Buddy.
My name is Buddy Finney. I live at 1137 Ames Street in Hammond. I'm here representing Mount Zion Missionary Baptist Church, 1047 Kenwood. June 9th, we're requesting that Board of Works block off Howard Street north at Kenwood and south at the alley on Howard Street. At the same request, we were requesting, since there's another event in the area, we were requesting an officer patrol that area due to our kids running across the street, because we do get speeders on Kenwood east and west. So we request an officer at 10 o'clock to about 3 o'clock, circling that area.
Okay, wait, so we have Howard north at Kenwood and south at Highland?
No, no,
Oh, I'm trying to.
we want blocked off at Howard to the south on Howard at the alley.
Okay.
And we need an officer from that section east and west on Kenwood, but we do get speeders in that area.
What was the time frame, buddy? 10 to 3?
9 to 3.
9 to 3?
9 to 3.
So,
Recommendation we refer this to streets and HPD.
I make that recommendation.
and I'll concur.
Okay, thanks. Appreciate it, thanks.
Thanks,
Thank
buddy.
you. Thank you.
Now, do you need picnic tables or garbage cans or anything like that?
Motion to
No,
adjourn.
we do, we can
I
do
make
all
that recommendation.
I concur.
You do, you gotta let us know.
I'm going to the street department. and
Oh,
request
okay.
it.